sometimes it might not be physical illness, it might just be that you're overworking yourself, and because you're overworking yourself, your body is finding a way to tell you that, look, chill, okay? Hi guys, so if you're new here today, my name is Carina darling. I'm a wellness blogger and vlogger. I like to talk about everything wellness, and I help millennials, women in particular, who work in very high profile jobs manage their life stress free. So guys, today without further ado, I want to talk about my tips on how I handle stress. Stress is something that happens to all of us. It happens especially to people that have quite a lot of things that they're juggling, and especially my audience, who are people who love to work, who love to hustle, who love to make a difference in their lives. And it's quite important that we talk about stress and how we navigate stress. Before I go into talking about stress, I just want to talk about something that is really important. Community helps us to stay happy. It helps us with health issues. Statistics also show that people who are isolated are more prone to suffer illnesses, mental health illnesses, physical illnesses as well, because loneliness is not meant for us. We are relational beings. We're meant to be in relationship. So when we isolate ourselves, to sometimes not to any fault of ours, maybe we have dysfunctional families or there are issues in our family that we're not able to navigate and things cannot be restored, sometimes it might be good for you to take a step back, but don't take a step back from everybody. Find your core community, people that you can rely on, people you can trust, and have them close to you, because we need people, whether we like it or not. We need people to stay sane, we need people to stay happy, we need people to just do life with. Of course, I'm not taking this away and saying that you need people, therefore do not find yourself, therefore do not become a better person. No, what I mean is that we need community. We are relational beings. What is stress? I think it's really important to talk about what it is so that we know how we can deal with it. Stress is the feeling of being under abnormal pressure. It happens at different times in our life if we're navigating different things. For example, when I was getting married, preparing the wedding and sorting those things out, I was so stressed about it. There were so many challenges. My husband, now at the time my fiance, he was also very stressed. There were so many things that we didn't know that could become an issue when you're planning a wedding that can really trigger stress. And at that time as well, I was trying to purchase a property, so I did two things that people do in their lifetime. I was doing it all together concurrently. That wasn't good, so that made me super stressed. Actually, my blood pressure was really high during that time, and it just wasn't a good sign. The day came, it was fantastic, it was lovely, but the process, some of it challenged me to my core, that I say to friends and family, I never want to plan or organize a wedding ever again. It's too much, it's too stressful. For some people it's moving home, for some people it's having a new baby, sometimes it's even a combination of those things, having a new baby and moving home, and sometimes it's even changing jobs. And so stress can be different things for different people. Because something doesn't stress you out doesn't mean that that thing cannot be stressful. Everybody's wired very differently, and so it's important for us to be understanding of other people and tolerant of other people, because our stress levels are very different, and the way we handle stress is also very different. So what does your body do during the time when you're stressed? It kind of goes into a default mode where it feels that I have to survive and I have to keep going, and sometimes that can come up in different ways. You become very agitated, or you become very angry easily, which are things that you perhaps would not be doing before. You become even more tired sometimes due to stress. You could even start developing physical signs, maybe breakouts on your skin and things that never used to happen to you before. You start to develop, and these are ways that your body tells you that you're stressed. For me, when I start feeling stressed, I feel like tense in my neck, because I also work in the office. We all suffer from this. Everyone that works in the office, you have bad posture sometimes, and my neck feels very tense, my back feels very tight, and my lower back starts to hurt. These are all signs that I know that, oh, I'm under a lot of pressure. And I start to have short temper. Sometimes I snap, because if I'm under pressure, those are all the things that are my ways or my clues of knowing that, okay, I need to take a breather, I need to take it easy. So how can you identify that you're under stress? There are different stress triggers, and like I've mentioned to you previously, those things I mentioned are my stress triggers. For other people it's different. It might be mental. You might be going into a state of depression, a state of sadness. That could also be stress, that you're under a lot of stress, therefore you're feeling this way because of the pressures that you're in. Another tip that I want to share with you about stress and knowing how to recognize them is that sometimes there are ways that you can deal with stress. Sometimes it could be knowing those short-term stress levels, medium-term stress levels, long-term stress. They're those stress that you really can't do anything about. They're part of your lifestyle, your life, and you just have to find a way to live with them. Yeah, so there's no point in stressing about a stress that you can't really manage. And sometimes statistically it says that sometimes we need stress as human beings, but there are levels of stress. When you're overly stressed, then that's abnormal, and that's where you really need to do something. But certain levels of stress we need in our lives as human beings as well. Sometimes what's causing your stress could also be physical illness. Sometimes we don't recognize that. It could be because your body is trying to overwork in one area to compensate in another area that is not working, and that then means that you become really stressed, and that stresses your body because your body is not at its optimum level. And because it's not at its optimum level, it's affecting you in some way, and that then translates in maybe you being snappy or you being short-tempered. It's quite important to do our health checks every often. I have my health check. I tend to go for my blood test with my doctor every 6 months roughly, and I do a health check roughly every 2 years, a full health check. But in between I'll go for some tests just to see that things are fine. It's always good to do this. And I have my eye test because I'm short-sighted, also the hygienist, and going to the dentist. These are things we do for ourselves to help maintain our body and keep it going at its optimum level, because when things are not working, it would affect us as well and our stress level. Sometimes it might not be physical illness, it might just be that you're overworking yourself, and because you're overworking yourself, your body is finding a way to tell you that, look, chill, okay? And you know, guys, I'm here for solopreneurs, side hustles, full-time job, women working and earning a living and doing really well. You know, I really support feminism, I support women empowerment. But guys, I have to be very honest, you have to manage what you can take. You can't take on everything. There are different seasons in our lives as well. You can't be running the whole thing. If you become a new mother, you can't be running your business at the same pace. You can't expect to be doing everything to everybody. And this is something that we women, we really fail to look after ourselves in a way. And I do that as well. I'm one of those people, you know, I'll look after everybody else but my health. And I had to come to a place where I started to learn that I had to take care of myself and take care of my health and look after myself. And that's where my whole journey of my digital content started. It's about self-care, looking after myself, the things I have learned for neglecting myself and looking after everyone else but myself, you know. And you can't love other people if you don't know how to love yourself. So it starts with me. So I had to learn that the hard way, and I continue to still learn it. And so I put times in my diary and I say, this is me time. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm gonna keep doing it because I need it to love you. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. You need to love yourself to love someone else. You can't love someone else if you don't love yourself. So take care of yourself, look after yourself. So I'm going to move on to the really exciting bit of this talk. How can you protect and shield yourself from stress? There's so many things we can do to shield ourselves from stress. Obviously, I've mentioned to you that stress is part of life. Some level of stress is quite important in our life, but how can we shield and protect ourselves from stress? One thing that I do that I found very helpful is exercising. I find that when I haven't exercised for a week or two, I feel that there's so much in my head that needs to go out, and sometimes I feel very stressed because of it. You know, the endorphins that come from exercising are quite helpful for our health. And so it's quite important, I find, to exercise regularly. I try to exercise 3 to 4 times a week. A lot of times it's 3 days a week. And it doesn't have to be excessive exercise. It could be just going for a long walk. It could be 20 minutes of walking. That's your form of exercise. But at least incorporate something that can help you. Another thing again that I find quite helpful is learning to eat healthy. And a lot of times, what does it mean to you? What does eating healthy mean, really? You know, it doesn't mean that you cut out all the really lovely things that you like to eat, but it's just being more conscious and aware of what you're eating and what you're putting inside your body. I like to eat very healthy. It doesn't mean that I don't eat the likes of meat and fish. I do, but I like to eat vegetables. I like to eat fruits and nuts, and all of those I find quite helpful to keeping my body at its optimum level, which also helps with things like illnesses and preventing any form of illnesses coming into my space. Another thing I find quite helpful is taking time out. Taking time out is really important. I think sometimes we underestimate it. I think I touched on it already in exercise. Blocking time in your calendar and saying, I'm going to go for a walk, I'm going to do something, I'm just going to rest, I'm going to relax, I'm going to do nothing, listen to music. That's good. Taking time out is so important. It helps with creativity, it helps with keeping you balanced as a person. I can't emphasize its benefit enough, you know, and I try to do that. So yes, you don't have to say yes to everyone. You don't have to agree with everything everybody has for you, but you can always say no. It's not compulsory that you have to say yes, okay? So you need to bear that in mind. And if something's not working for you, just say no to it. Give yourself time. The person is not going to hate you anymore. Actually, they'll respect your time. They'll know that actually this is important for this person. If they're saying no, that means it's vital for them, you know. So I like to spend time on my own, and taking time out is one of the ways that I achieve that, and it works wonders. I come back refreshed, just calmer, you know, and I have more ideas to share and things to do because I have had time to rest and I've had time for myself. All right guys, so today I'm really grateful for your time, and I hope the tips that I've shared on how to manage stress and stress levels, you will find them very helpful. So until next time, have a lovely week and speak to you soon. Bye guys.